What are some boundaries that you set in your relationship?
I'm not good at setting boundaries. I'm just about learning how to set boundaries, which is ridiculous.
We be transparent with each other and like let each other know how we respond to certain ways of communication. During the early stages of the relationship, like we were still trying to understand how each other work, our response to different things.
It's not about you pushing the person out, but on the contrary, it's actually you strengthening your bond with the person because you're saying that, okay, these are the things that are okay for me and these are the things that are not okay for me. And when you set that expectation in the beginning, things run a bit more clearly.
The boundaries I set for like me and my partner would be to have an open communication and to also have mutual respect.
Time is actually very important. And one of the things that I do to set boundaries with my time, or to guard my time, is that I keep a physical schedule.
So I tend to be like more open and friendly to others. So you kind of like make a boundary to like not be too close to like the opposite gender. It may sound very restrictive, but like that's like our boundary.
I think my mother also always tells me, be careful, don't let people steal your time, and to be more mindful of what I say yes to, what I say no to.
So the most important thing is to talk things up.
Open channels of communication. If you want to discontinue, then you can just say it out.
You should be open to communication and should voice out. And if there's anything that you guys disagree, you should just say it up.
I think for the both of us, personal space is very important.
In my family, like for example, my spouse, he has his own creative interest. And I have my own creative interest. So we give each other a lot of space.
We both have demanding jobs, and being able to unwind on our own terms is quite important.
At times when we were doing a collaborative project together, to my surprise, we thought that giving space and giving independence is all that one needs, and we can do anything together, but it didn't happen that way.
When it comes to boundaries, sometimes we request alone time. And being respectful of that boundary helps us to be ready for each other again.
Between my husband and I, we actually have very clear guidelines, I would say. Both of us do not want to have kids. So our priority is always ourselves before our partner. We don't restrict each other. So like if a career progressions need to bring him to States, by all means, I would say go. Because I think if you limit each other, you will not be able to grow as a couple. So first yourself, then as a couple.
If you have close friends, you should already know what their buttons are, and you should know which ones to press and which ones to just avoid completely.
I think we kind of realized that, at the end of the day, we already know the answers. We just need somebody to bounce it off. So we just become a mirror for each other.
It's just not a good way to resolve things by keeping quiet. So I guess moral of the story is just communicate with your friends.
Sometimes my friends would like to tease each other. So there's not really like any boundaries as long as you're not like saying any bad words or we're not talking about anything inappropriate. Those are usually the only boundaries. And as long as no one feels hurt or no one feels offended, then it should be fine.
Like recess, I sometimes sit with them and take them to go to the library, and I sometimes eat with them in recess. I play with them in the field.
I don't really set it until a situation comes. Okay, this cannot, this can. I just go with the flow. But if I feel that something is not right, then I'll just address it.
I had a past relationship, I guess, that I didn't dedicate any time for myself at all. And I felt like I just reached a very low point where I sort of just lost my own identity, per se. It started with a fear of just not knowing who I am.
But I think in terms of family, I keep a lot of things from them, from my family. Things like my relationship or what I do outside. Sometimes they don't even know what I go out of the house for.
So when it comes to chat groups and social media, I think people have to set boundaries. There's a lot of conflict, confrontation, a lot of contentious issues, and people go around scolding each other.
I tell myself not to expect much from anyone, whether my friends, my family, and to owe as little people anything, if any, at all.
In our daily life, there's always miscommunication. So if you don't clear it up, then there'll be a lot of misunderstandings. So as time goes on, your relationship, your friendship will kind of be, strained in that sense. So I don't like to have that kind of friendship. It's good to clear up everything so we can get together again, rather than people who likes to gossip and, criticize. I don't like that kind of people, so I stay far away from them. When they try to kind of ask me out, I always find an excuse from meeting up with them.
Thank you for watching this video.
If you like this video,
like, share,
comment, and subscribe.
and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye-bye.